Hey, Middleton Grace, happy Wednesday to you, whether it's in the morning or the evening, or maybe it's even Thursday or Friday. I just say Wednesday because this is when we post this. And so on Sunday, we spent most of the day talking about the promises of God and how those promises impact us. And so we want to spend the next couple of weeks just doing a quick devotional series on God's promises. Now, if you have your sermon guide, you can pull that out, and on the back of it, there's a couple of things that I referenced in the message concerning the promises of God. Things like that they're unfailing and they're upheld by his oath, they're centered on Christ, they're confirmed by Christ, they're kept by faith, and they're exceedingly great and precious. But there are two that I want to focus in on this very first week of this devotional series on promises. And it's this. The first one is found in Galatians 4:4, and it says that God's promises are fulfilled on schedule. That means that when they're supposed to happen, they happen. And the second one is in Hebrews 6:12 and in verse 15. And it's not quite as fun, but it's this, that they're obtained, that God's promises are obtained by patience. Now, I don't know about you, but things getting fulfilled on schedule is nice. Things taking patience, not so much. One of my favorite things that's going on in our house right now is Cooper has a job, and he has a budget, and he's learning kind of how where he's spending money and stuff. And one of the things, surprise, that my son is not good at is keeping his room clean. He hates doing it. It's always a mess. It's a source of contention. And so he's found a workaround. Rather than cleaning it himself, he's paying his little sister to clean his room. Now, he's set the standard at a pretty high standard. He's paying her $10 every time she cleans his room. Well, Harper's put two and two together, and anytime she sees anything on Cooper's floor, she goes in and picks it up and then marks a tally mark that she's cleaned his room. And I think at this point, Cooper owes her like something like $70, and it's been 3 days or something. It's crazy. And so she wants this money like right now. But what she's got to understand is that Cooper doesn't pay every time. He pays on his pay schedule. And so she's in this moment where she has this promise, this thing that's coming, that this money from Cooper. It's probably not going to be as much as she expects it to be, let's be honest. But she's got this promise that's coming, but it's got to be fulfilled on the schedule, and she's got to have a little bit of patience. And every time she sees something on Amazon or in the store, she immediately wants to spend the money, but we won't let her because she doesn't have it yet. And here's the key: Cooper's going to pay her. He's good because the one who made the promise, Cooper, is faithful that he's going to pay. And it's the same way for us in God's promises. 2 Peter 3:9 says this, that God's not slow concerning his promise the way that some count slowness. Now, Peter is really generous when he says in the way that some count slowness. Really what he's saying is the way that you and I count slowness. We want God to do it right now, immediately for us. And God's saying, I never promised that I'd do it right now. I just promised that I would do it. And so whatever season you find yourself in, whatever you're waiting for, just know that it will be fulfilled on God's schedule, and it's going to be obtained by patience. And so, I mean, the implication of Hebrews 6:12 and 15 is that the more impatient you are, the more impatient you are concerning this promise, it might actually take a little bit longer to get. So just settle in where God's got you. Ask him what he's teaching you in this season, and just wait for him to show up. Church, I hope that you have a great week. I can't wait to see you on Sunday. Invite a friend. It's going to be an amazing day.